Hey guys, so I actually came up with this idea for a video while I was driving today, so bear with me because it's kind of just jumbled up in my head and I haven't quite gotten it written down on paper, and it's just an idea. And so it's also almost 1 in the morning and I can't sleep, which is why I'm making the video right now. And so I'm kind of tired, but hopefully this will get me to sleep. So basically what I wanted to talk about is I realize a lot of you don't know what bipolar disorder consists of. You may have a vague idea of what it consists of, but not really quite there. So most of you think that bipolar disorder is basically your mood changes all of a sudden. And while that is true, in some cases, it's different for others. And so I'm going to talk about my personal experience. So first I want to talk about how my moods shifts change. And so how I go from manic to depressive. And so manic is like the happy, excited stage, you know, the I am so incredible stage. And the depressive is obviously the I don't want to live stage. And so basically that happens to me usually several times throughout the day. But it can also happen through a span of a few days, and by a few days I mean like 3 days I'll be manic, and then I'll be depressed for like 2 weeks, and then, or I'll be manic for like a week, and then I'll be depressed for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and then yeah, it also happens to me where it's like I'll wake up manic and I'll be depressive by the end of the day, and I won't switch moods. Like it's just manic and depressive. And other times I switch from manic depressive to manic again to depressive to manic depressive throughout the entire day, and it's really annoying. And you can't control it. I mean, you can do your best to not make it such a hazard for people around you, but you can't control it. So basically, I wanted to explain to you all what both of those mood swings or moods are. And I guess most of you, I'm going to start with the easy one. I'm going to start with depressive. Most of you know what depression is. Basically, you don't want to get out of bed. You cancel plans with friends. You basically have any excuse you can to just stay indoors and stay in your bed all day and sleep. You start socializing less, and you just feel like you're worthless, and all these thoughts start coming into your head that maybe you shouldn't be here. And sometimes, you know, you get suicidal ideations. I get suicidal ideations when I'm depressed, and it's scary. It's really scary to be in that stage, and your appetite goes down, or sometimes for me it'll actually go up because I'm sleeping a lot. I'll just want to eat. I'll get up and I'll eat something. I'll go back to sleep, and then I'll get up again and eat again and sleep. So yeah, that happens to me. And then, so your metabolism completely changes. You get really sluggish. Even your speech is slower. I've noticed that I talk softer and slower when I'm depressed than when I'm manic. So yeah, that's pretty much it for depressive. So now I'm gonna get into manic, and that's a little bit more complicated because I guess it's different for everyone, and not a lot of people know. Not a lot of people know what manic is, and um, and it's also something very personal for every bipolar person because they've done a lot of stupid things that they regret. I guarantee it. And so I'm not going to go into too much depth. But if you want to ask me something, you can send me a DM or private message if you have me on my Facebook or my Instagram. My Instagram is whatever Dre. Like literally, it's just whatever Dre, DRE. And so it's really easy to remember. So you can send me a DM right there. If you want to ask me another question that's like a little more private, and I might answer it, I might not, honestly. But give it a shot. So, in my manic stages, I basically feel like I'm on top of the world, and I feel like I can do anything, and like I'm the greatest person in the world, and I'm like God's gift to earth. And so, it's not a good stage to be in. I've gotten broken up with a lot of times because of that. You basically think that, or for me, I think that, oh, like every guy out there wants me, and it's so ridiculous. Like it's such a ridiculous notion. Uh, but it's true. That's what I think at the time, and my self-esteem is just like through the roof, when in reality, like my self-esteem kind of sucks. I'm very irresponsible and irrational about things. That's how I ended up with all these piercings. I just one day was like, let's go get a piercing. And I went and I got all these piercings. And it was kind of like the same thing with my hair. I actually used to have it short. I had it short because I got chemo. And one day it was falling off, but it didn't look bad. I didn't actually have to cut it off. And one day I was just like, screw it, let's just cut it off. And that was just like super impulsive of me. And I went and I cut it off. And that was like, it didn't hurt anyone, but it was still a very impulsive decision. So that's just like an example of things that people do. A lot of people will gamble or will get into like street racing because they like the feeling of, you know, I guess feeling something more. They like the adrenaline, um and so yeah, that's how I get when I'm manic. I also eat a lot more, but not too much. Like I eat a healthy amount. I talk a lot faster, and I get really, really excited about things. Like I'll start using my hands, and I'm like, yeah, so last night I went to this show and it was so great. Like, oh my gosh, you have to listen to them because they're so amazing, and that's what I do. And it's really annoying to people, but that's what I do. And I get really loud, and I get excited over stupid little things. But yeah, that's pretty much how I act. And so I don't know if this has helped anyone, or if any of my friends are watching this, if this has helped you understand me and know why I act the way I do. This is why. So if you have any questions, again, feel free to ask me. You can leave them in the comment section down below, or you can DM me, like I said, on my Instagram. It's whatever Dre, and it's just literally the word whatever and then DRE. So it's easy to find me. And yeah, it's been really fun making these videos, and it's kind of like my own little diaries, so I enjoy making them. So please keep on asking me questions, and I promise to keep on making more videos. So that's all. Good night.